So here's a paver strip sand and seal job that we're working on, and you can see how much organic growth and some efflorescence, and it's just kind of looking a little dingy. There's all kinds of high and low spots, tripping hazards. Now, we did the best we could to get rid of all the tripping hazards, but as far as water problems, we would have had to dig this whole thing up really because it sunk so bad. So the homeowner knew that ahead of time. You can see here we're trying to get a little bit of plant growth out of the cracks before we start. And here you can see the solution is applied to start killing the plant growth and cleaning the paver tops of organic growth like algae, lichen, moss, all that. And you can see when it activates, you can see when it gets all over yourself too, as you see there, like all this, it makes a mess, a royal mess. So you have some cleanup to do afterwards. Sand and landscape bark's gonna blast everywhere. But here you see, I'm pulling a string line to try to get the water to go out the best I can and to level it up the best I can. They wanted the water to run back to this corner right here so that it would go out the holes that the previous installer made. Here, I'm just trying to sandblast some of this efflorescence off. I acid washed it with one restore lightly, and it really didn't do much of anything. And I was worried about etching the block. It's on there heavy. This efflorescence was on a few of these pavers, very heavy. So I just sandblasted it off. I don't know if this is the best thing to do for longevity, but it's the only way to get the discoloration off. And unfortunately, if they had like sandbags sitting on top of these pavers, causing a water issue. It's going to cause hard water deposits and efflorescence again, probably, if they put the same canopies with the same sandbags holding them in the same spot. And then here is some rust. I'm just hitting it with some sand to get that rust stain off. And then I made a mess with some paint here. I accidentally took some of the paint off that front board there, so I had to repaint it. I made a little bit of a mess, so I'm just cleaning it up here with some sandblasting. And it doesn't take much. I should have been a little bit more careful while painting, so I don't have to do none of this touch-up work, but I made a little bit of a mess with a few paint spots. And then next, we just started blowing off the pavers with a blower. You just want to rev up the engine a little bit and kind of like idle the engine. Rev it, idle it, just go over. After you blow off all the pavers, you'll want to hit all the windows and window frames and like anywhere you could have made a mess or dusted the house. You want to like kind of touch that up. And then you just seal it. I use Cat 5 by Trident, works phenomenally. This is right before we sealed. We went over it one more time with the blower. And then these pictures coming up are the after pictures. And it looked phenomenal. Like, it brought the pavers back to life. We have a few touch-ups to do. This was a project for